Hey, what's up guys? Jeffrey Winzenried here, and this is Trailtime Confessions. We are on the Road to Uncovery series, episode 6, and today's episode is going to be talking about growth and progress and cultivating your mind for growth and your body, your spirit, and your emotions to grow. Today is October 15th, 2019. And I am currently just over 100 miles finishing my trek up here on the pacificcresttrail. So I started at the Canadian border, didn't cross, but I tagged it on June 11th. And I've been working my way south through Washington, Oregon, Northern Cal, the Sierras, and now I am in the desert. Water is sparse because it is late in the season, and people are few and far between. I've only seen a handful of hikers since I started the desert section, and I've had a fair amount of solitude here in the desert, which I've welcomed with open arms, and I felt that at the time that was needed for sure. Oregon and Northern Cal, there were, and to the below, bottom part of Washington coming south, there's been a fair amount of people on the trail, which helped to fill my cup of connection, talking with people and meeting people and engaging. And so yeah, my time here in the desert this last couple weeks have been pretty awesome. So I am finishing my trek this week, Saturday or Sunday, most likely Sunday, October 20th. And I'm really excited about that, and to take what I've learned here about myself, about the Pacific Crest Trail, my journey, my transformation, and take that and bring it back to my community so I can give back and contribute. And so part of the reason why I sought out to do the PCT was the challenge. Obviously, it's 2,650 miles from border to border. The self-transformation, the personal development, the feelings to get connected back with myself again, and to really help relieve and eliminate a lot of the stress that was in my life preceding shutting my business down. And when I got out here, it felt really good. And this trek has been one of the best things, if not the best thing I've ever done for myself personally, for growth and personal development. And so the whole concept of my road to Uncovery is that, I've been able to uncover the real me. Take off the layers of the onion, take off the layers of the shields and the armor that I've put on myself over the years, that I've covered up the real me. And the real me has always been here. It's always been a part of me. It just may have been a little bit scared to come out. And now I have the courage, and that feels good, that I can just be me. And so talking about my life here on the trail through a series of videos that I've done, and talking to you guys has really helped in that process. I understand that now for sure. And I think it's crucial to the development of finding yourself as well. Talking through these things, thinking about, what is wrong or what is right in your life, what you want in your life, What is the blueprint of your life, which we'll be talking about a little bit later in this video. So what I want to do today is actually take action, because growth is about watering your tree. Too much water, too much action, you're gonna kill it. But just enough and you have growth. So I want to start with a quote from Albert Einstein, pretty smart dude. He said that the significant problems that we face cannot be solved by the level of thinking we were at when we created them. And so most of us are going through life with significant problems in our life. We use these problems to help fulfill our needs, and those essentially are the vehicles that we use to help fill those needs up. Certainty, uncertainty, significance, connection, and love. And so to move to the higher levels of these needs, I believe that you need to have all of your other needs met. Those 4 personality needs, those achievement needs, those success needs that we deem as successful. And so to move up to the next coin, or the spiritual needs, growth and contribution, you have to be at a point to which your tree is self-sufficient in fulfilling those needs. And so what I want you guys to do right now, and I give you permission to pause the video, is I want you to get a piece of paper out. And I've asked you to do this with most of the videos. And in those previous videos, I asked you to think about how you fulfill that particular need and what vehicles that you are using to help fulfill that need. Is that vehicle positive? Is it neutral? Is it negative? Is it empowering? Is it disempowering? Okay, so that same concept is going to be used with these 2 spiritual needs as well, growth and contribution. And so on your piece of paper, we're going to do a little assessment here. I want you to make 6 boxes. Okay, so you have essentially 2, 2, and 2. All right, the first 2 boxes is level 1, level 2 is the second pair of boxes, and then the third pair of boxes is level 3. Okay, so on your top left highest box you have certainty. Next to that you have uncertainty. Below certainty you have significance. Below uncertainty you have connection and love. And then below significance you have growth. And then below connection and love you have contribution. Okay, so in these boxes I want you to think about your level of fulfillment in your life, and I want you to rate that from a scale of 1 to 10. 1 meaning barely any fulfillment, and then 10 being the most fulfillment. Okay, now of those 6, I want you to circle the box that you feel is your number 1. Your number 1 priority as far as your needs goes. And then I want you to circle a second box as your second priority. Okay, this will give you a basic understanding of where you feel that your life is as far as your needs being met. Okay, now take a step back, and I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to think about an area of your life that you are most happy about, most fulfilled, It could be family, it could be your career, it could be your job, it could be your body, it could be your fitness, it could be some area of your life that you feel most happy about, that makes you feel most fulfilled, that you feel that you are most successful with. And I want you to keep your eyes closed and just think about that. Embody the feelings and just be with everything that comes with thinking about that. Okay? Now, on your piece of paper, I want you to write down what area that you feel is most happy to you, most fulfilled. Okay? Now I want you to close your eyes again and think about the area of your life that you are not most happy with. Okay, maybe you got fired in your job, or maybe your relationship is, maybe you just broke up with, or got a divorce, or maybe your relationship with your spouse, your partner, is not good. It's not going well. Maybe your kids are being little brats. Maybe you don't have kids and you want kids. So again, write down an area of your life that you feel is not what you wanted it to be, or what you want it to be. And so what we're talking about here right now is your blueprint. And so your blueprint is essentially what you perceive, or what you think your life should be. And we all have this image, this picture, this visualization, this personification, this idea in our head that we need to meet this level of achievement in this area of our life to be happy. And when we don't achieve that, when we don't get to that level of achieving that goal, or whatever it is, that we have this image that we have in our head, that we feel like a failure. We feel that we have not met our expectations, and that can make you unhappy. It can make you feel unsuccessful, unfulfilled. And so there's two ways that you can change your life, or two things that you can do to help get that happiness back. You can, which I don't recommend, which actually a lot of people do, is they blame. And you can blame yourself, you can blame others, or you can blame the circumstance, or the environment, or something other than a person. Okay? Now most people do that, and it helps to fulfill whatever need that is they're fulfilling. And essentially that is the problem, right? That is the problem that is being used as the vehicle to help fulfill that need. Now, if you want to be happy, if you want to make that change, you have to either change your life, or you need to change your blueprint, your perceptions, what you think of as successful in your life in that area. And so to change your blueprint, you have to take action. You have to have curiosity, you have to have desire, and you have to learn, you have to have the skill set to be able to do that, because willpower is never enough. It can help to spark that desire and give you the interest in wanting to make change. But if some of you guys feel hopeless, if some of you guys feel that there's no way out, that there's no way to change, just know that there is. And there's people out there that can help you. And that is part of the reason why I am doing these videos, is because I want to make people more aware of the fact that change is possible, that if you are unhappy with your life, that you can change it. And that's exactly what I did here on the PCT. I changed my blueprint and I changed my life. And when you do both of those, you create massive change in your life and happiness. And that's essentially what I want for you guys as well. So what is growth? Growth is constant emotional, intellectual, and spiritual learning. It is a constant thing that we need in our life. Now, I want you to close your eyes again, and I want you to visualize a father and son, or maybe a mother and a daughter. And they go out to the backyard and they plant a seed, a tree. And that tree is cultivated. It is watered. It is nurtured every single day. From the time that that little child was 2 until they were an adult. And now imagine that same child as an adult walking under the tree, picking an apple, taking a bite, and tasting that fruit. And you can see the metaphor in this story, because when you cultivate and you give the tree all the nutrients and the water and the sunlight and all the variables, the elements that are needed for that tree to be successful, for it to grow, for it to be able to bear fruit, there needs to be constant cultivation. Now imagine that same seed was planted by the same parent and same child, and that parent did not teach the child how to cultivate. They didn't teach the child how to water the tree. Or maybe the kid just went there and just started pouring water on the tree, and too much water actually killed the tree. Now you can see that, cultivation is it's a balanced thing. Like, you need to have balance when you're trying to grow. And so if water is the key, too much water is going to kill the tree. Not enough water will kill the tree, but just enough, a perfect solution, H2O. Water is the action. Now I want you to think of this tree as an additional metaphor, as yourself, the tree of life. And so the roots are these 4 basic human needs, these physical or achievement or success needs. Those 4 are the roots of the tree. And so growth is that tree getting taller and taller and taller. Contribution is that tree's ability to bear fruit. It's reaping all the hard work, all the sowing that has been done. And that takes time. It takes progress. It takes effort. It takes consistency. It takes constant cultivation of your needs and action. And so, in order to bear fruit, you have to be in a constant mindset of continuous growth. your needs have to be, your personal achievement needs, your personal physical needs need to be met first before you can actually give back to other people. Now, can you grow without having those four needs being met? Certainty, uncertainty, significance, love, and connection. Yes, you can. You can still learn. But if, you know, the paradox of growth and contribution is if you're spending too much of your time, if you're watering too much of your tree in that area and you're not giving back, or you're not doing anything with the learning, then what's the point? You know, if you go to college and you don't do anything with your degree, what's the point, right? So in order to grow, you have to remember something: your ignorance. You have to remember that you don't know everything. And in order to allow the teacher to help you, you have to raise your hand. You have to acknowledge the fact, give that acknowledgement that you have a need, and the need is to learn, the need is to grow. And there are people out there that can help. So cultivating your mindset, cultivating your mind, cultivating your body, your emotions, your spirit to want to grow, I think you have to have the desire, and that desire comes from curiosity, comes from creativity, and that comes from learning, reading, you know, constantly trying to do better, okay, the skills, learning new skills, right? So what are some vehicles, some things in your life that you can do to help cultivate your mind, help water your tree? What are some things that you can do in your life, the vehicles to drive to help you grow? Well, you can go hike the PCT, like me, and you learn a hell a lot about yourself out here. You can read books, which is something that I've struggled with for most of my life, and something now that I realized through the habit of forcing myself to do it, that it's helped me big time. And I've struggled with reading for a long time, and it's taken a long time for me to develop those skills just to read on a regular basis. Learning new skills. For example, one of the things that I'm going to do when I get back home is I'm going to purchase a guitar and teach myself music, and I'm going to write a book. I'm going to learn videography and more skills in photography and movie making and documentaries and just different areas that I have interest in, that I am eager and curious to learn about. So I'm going to spend some time learning about these new areas that I'm curious about, and then putting those skills to work. So what are we really talking about here with growth? Cultivating the mind, cultivating the area of your life so that you can grow. We're really talking about habits. And so habits, to form a habit, you have to have knowledge, you have to have skill, and you have to have the desire. And so knowledge is the learning component, it is the intellect, the skill set is the doing, the activity, the action, the movement. And the desire is the willpower, it is the creativity, it is the curiosity. And all of that combined will create a positive, successful habit. And so you can unlearn negative habits in your life. And if you're trying to work a new habit into your life, you have to make room for it. So you have to clean out your closet. You have to dig down deep. You have to find areas of your personal development that you no longer need, that those areas are not serving you positively anymore. So how can you work those areas of your life out? Let it go. Move. Make change. Cut them off. Cut the people off. Clean out your house. Eliminate certain possessions that you have. Take a different way to work. Just change, difference. And start creating those new habits by learning about it, practicing it, okay, that's the skill set, and just keeping a positive mindset will help with the desire. The desire could also help with or finding somebody else who also has that same interest will help to facilitate that desire. They'll help to motivate you to stay in the right mindset to keep going. Because doing something new helps to fulfill the need of uncertainty. But sometimes, when you're doing something new, you're gonna fail. You're gonna fall right on your face. And it can be tough sometimes to stay positive when you're not really building any traction. So I want to do another visualization with you. And so I want you to close your eyes again. Seriously, close your eyes. And I want you to think about being in an inner tube in the middle of the ocean, and there is nothing in sight. Doesn't matter how you got there. It just matters that you are in that inner tube, floating, calm sea. And from out of nowhere, a storm surges, and the winds of change start twirling around, creating change and waves and movement, and you're getting scared. And now there's movement in the sea that starts going around and round and round and turning into a whirlpool, and you're getting sucked down into that whirlpool. And you keep spinning around and around and around and around until you reach the bottom. Now, thinking about that same scenario, you are in the ocean and a storm surge comes from out of nowhere. And instead of a whirlpool, a cyclone pops up out of the water, right from underneath your inner tube, and propels you up in the air with a smile. And you're floating on top of this cyclone, and you see land. You have an element of hope. Because now you have a goal. You have something to go after. Swatting these gnats. Now, the cyclone lets you down, and now instead of just swimming aimlessly in the ocean, you have a destination. You have something to try to achieve. You have hope. And so some of you may feel like you are in a whirlpool, spinning down and down and down. And that's okay. You can get out of there. Just have to swim a little bit harder. You got to dig a little bit deeper. And if you want to make it to land, you have to swim. You have to swim hard. And you have to keep swimming until you reach the sandy edge. And whether or not there's people or anyone else to help on that island, at least you're not swimming in an endless ocean. So my point here is that never losing hope, never losing the feeling that you can't move forward. I want you to realize that from out of left field, from out of nowhere, miracles can happen at any time. And with action, with a little bit of curiosity and desire, you can build momentum and change your life. Change your blueprint. Change the way you perceive how you feel your life to be happy. And that's what I want you guys to work on. To grow, to water your tree, to cultivate your mind, to build the habits, the positive vehicles to help bring your life to the next level. And so look down at that piece of paper, and if there's areas that you want to change, those are the areas that I want you to focus on first. Focus on the areas that make you feel unhappy. So if your relationship is not happy, you need to focus on that. Love is a verb. Love, the feeling, is the fruit of that verb. So what does it mean to love? You have to listen, you have to appreciate, you have to reassure, you have to do. Relationships need to be cultivated, just like that tree. The tree is not going to grow itself. There has to be sunlight, there has to be water, there has to be nutrients. So you have to nurture that relationship. You have to water it, meaning you have to take action, you have to do. And you have to give it sunlight, praise, reassurance, comfort. And you have to be patient. Just like the tree of life, just like you have to be patient, because shit takes time. It does. So I hope that all makes sense to you guys. I wanted to get into some visualization today, to get into some movement, some assessment, to make you guys think. Because if you guys can, if you can think and ask questions, that will help to spark your curiosity. And if you're curious, it may just be the spark for you to take action. And to take action is change. You will create change. And so everything, all the stuff that we're talking about here is really about progress. Progress is happiness. Being happy is a state of being. It is a feeling, but it is also a state of being. And to change your state, you need to change your perceptions, the way you think. You need to change your physical, what you do, or how you act. And you also need to change what you focus on, what you concentrate your life on. And I promise you, if you do all of that, you're going to make change in your life. I know, because I've done it. So that is a wrap for today. These videos have been getting just a little bit shorter. I'm doing that semi on purpose, just to alleviate some of the watch time for you guys. So I'm gonna get back to my trek, and one step at a time. And I will connect with you guys back in a couple days. And the last topic of conversation, last episode in the road to Uncovery, is contribution, giving back, giving love. And I've thought a lot about how I want to come back from the wild into society, how I want to give back what I want for my life. So I've reflected quite a bit. And so that's what I'll be talking about in the next series. And so, again, special thanks to Spencer Dominguez and his company, Excite Entertainment, for helping to get this podcast off the ground. So if you are looking for wedding entertainment, lights, music, and all the above, he is your guy. You can check him out on Instagram, and you can find him on Facebook as well. So that is a wrap, you guys. I appreciate and thank you all for watching and supporting me as I finish my trek and continue on with my life and my journey. And till next time, this is Trailtime Confessions. Take care.